But what I want to talk to you about for just a minute is, in Capernaum here, your guides are going to do a great job, and I don't want to take away from any of their teaching. It's a great place. Miracles happened here. The synagogue of Capernaum, Peter's mother-in-law healed, all of that. But there was something that happened here that changed the world. And that was the call of Peter, James, and John. Everybody say the call of God. The call of God. Now, I want you to remember what precipitated that call. I want you to remember that Jesus was coming here teaching crowds of people one day, and there were so many people, Jesus couldn't talk to people like this. He had to borrow a boat and use the natural amplification of water and sound waves on water to be able to talk to everybody. So he turns and he looks at Peter and said, Peter, can you help me out? But now remember, Peter was discouraged. He had not been able to catch any fish all night. He could not pay his crew that had worked the boat with him that night. All of these guys were hungry. They're putting their stuff away to go home and get some rest. They're tired. They're worn out, discouraged. And then Jesus said, can you guys help me out? And they agreed. One of the first things you need to recognize is that the call of God goes to people who are willing to serve, even if it takes sacrifice. They're willing to get involved in church. The call doesn't just miraculously show up on somebody's life one day that is not involved and, doesn't care anything about the local church. It falls to people that have been serving. That have been what? Serving. So they go out and they hold that boat steady so that Jesus could speak to everybody. And then when Jesus was finished, he said, now, Peter, I want you to put out into the deep water and let's catch some fish. Peter said, but Lord, I've worked all night and caught nothing. He said, please, just do what I ask. And the second thing about the call is it came to someone who was willing to obey somebody who didn't look like they knew what they were talking about. Jesus was a carpenter. Peter was a fisherman. Jesus, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't go out in the deep water in the middle of the day and try to catch fish. It just doesn't work. But because you say so, I'm going to do it. So the call comes to people who are involved. Secondly, the call comes to people who are willing to obey. Then Peter gets this huge catch of fish. He has to call another boat to come from shore, and they fill up 2 boats of fish. Peter has gone from failure to success. And then with this great prosperity and this great wealth, then Jesus looks at Peter and said, will you walk away from your success? Will you walk away from your prosperity and serve me? Will you do that? Now, this is something people don't understand. The call of God does not come to people in failure. The call of God comes to people who are in success. Just like Peter was said, Peter, can you walk away from all of this and come and follow me? The same thing occurred with the rich young ruler. Jesus, I want eternal life. Jesus to find eternal life and his experiential knowledge of the Father and the Son. And the rich young ruler said, nah, it's not worth it. I'm not going to give up my money. He wasn't willing to walk away from prosperity to follow the call. So the call comes to people who are willing to serve, obedient, and who are willing to walk away from prosperity. They came on shore. Then Jesus said, Peter, will you come follow me? I'll make you a fisher of men. Okay, Peter, I'm not making you any promises of your future. I'm just promising to change who you are at your very core. I'm not promising you to be an apostle. I'm just promising to change who you are. You're not going to be a fisher of fish anymore. You're going to be a fisher of men. One of the great challenges in Christianity today is that there are businessmen, and please forgive me, guys in business, that they want to be a businessman and a part-time pastor. And they don't understand you have to be changed at your core. You cannot continue to think bottom line profit. You can't continue to think like a marketer. You can't continue to think like anything other than a pastor that just cares about people. And that takes a season of following Jesus while he changes you from the inside out. I'm not talking about salvation. I'm talking about changing who you are and how you think.
Thank you for joining us today. Catch daily devotions every Monday to Sunday at 9:30 a.m., 5:30 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. on DZBR 531 a.m. or visit www.bible.radio. On April 15, Good Friday, we invite you to the annual School of the Cross in all Cathedral of Praise campuses. Learn the real story, the biblical truths and historical facts surrounding the sacrifice and triumph of Jesus Christ on the cross. Plan the trip of a lifetime. See the Bible come to life and join COP Israel Tour 2023. For inquiries, message us now at 0998-583-9781 or at facebook.com/cop.israeltour. You may also send an email to israeltour@cathedralofpraise.com.ph.